With a whole life insurance policy, when cash value is the goal, a question that sometimes comes up is, does it really matter if I go with a company that offers non-direct recognition compared to a company that offers direct recognition? And what these terms have to do with specifically are policy loans and how the insurance company is going to apply dividends to your policy, specifically the money that's outstanding in loans. I'll go through exactly how these terms work, and what we'll go through in this video are two different companies, one that offers non-direct recognition and the other that offers direct recognition, so you can see how it works. And the quick answer to that question, does it really matter, is no. In my opinion, when you look at the numbers with respect to what you're earning from the insurance company and then what you are paying them in loan interest, the difference at the end of the day is almost minimal. When you look at actual results, not an illustration, because sometimes I can make the illustration do what I want, but at the end of the day, when you look at real numbers, it does not make much of a difference. So, non-direct recognition and direct recognition. Let's talk about something that's important when it comes to the loan interest rates. Usually what you will see is this. Non-direct recognition policies usually offer a variable loan interest rate, and direct recognition policies usually offer a fixed loan interest rate. There are some companies that have a variable loan rate and also offer direct recognition. There's one that I am aware of, but usually what you'll see is a direct recognition company is going to have a fixed loan interest rate, and then a non-direct recognition company is going to offer a variable loan interest rate. So let's take a look at the two here. We'll begin with non-direct recognition. So let's divide the two. Sweet, there we go. And let's first begin with non-direct recognition. We will use a behemoth of a life insurance company for this example, Mass Mutual. They actually offer both non-direct and direct recognition when you start a policy. Non-direct recognition will carry a variable loan interest rate, and if you select a direct recognition policy, guess what? You'll have a fixed rate. Their fixed rate, Mass Mutual that is 6%. But we'll focus on their non-direct recognition contract for this video. So their dividend rate for 2023, 6% flat. Okay. Let's pretend that you have cash value of $100,000 and your death benefit is $1 million. This could be a couple of years into the policy. We're assuming you've built your cash value up to $100,000 at this point in time. You decide to take a policy loan for $50,000. That is half of what you had in cash value. When you take a policy loan, the insurance company is going to collateralize your death benefit dollar for dollar. So here we see the death benefit with loan. Notice it's $950,000. So when you borrow, you'll always see your death benefit collateralized dollar for dollar. The remaining cash value, I like to think of this as remaining equity, money that you can still borrow, is $50,000. So with a non-direct recognition policy, the insurance company is not going to recognize the fact that you have taken a loan against that policy with respect to how they pay dividends. What that means is this. Pretend that there's no loan outstanding. Let's start there. That dividend rate of 6% would be applied to what? The full $100,000. Quick side note, remember, dividend rates are always a gross rate, meaning you will not see your cash value grow by 6% in this case. It will grow somewhere between 4 and 5% at its peak when you look at the numbers. But that dividend rate of 6%, assuming no loans are outstanding, are applied on what? The full $100K. Okay, got that. If you take a policy loan of $50,000, what happens here? A non-direct recognition policy is going to pay you that 6% dividend still on the full $100K, even though the $50,000 loan is outstanding. How I like to explain it is like this. When you take that loan out, you're still getting that 6% dividend on the outstanding loan and the remaining equity. And what you'll see is once the loan is paid back, your cash value is going to be restored to exactly what it would have been as if you never took a loan out in the first place. For example, your cash value is 100K today, say in 10 years, it's going to be worth 200,000, just simple round numbers. That's if you let it sit and grow. We'll pretend you take that $50,000 loan out today and pay it back right before year 10. Your cash value is restored to that $200,000, meaning you've still earned dividends on the entire bucket of money the whole time. This is a big reason why people like cash value life insurance, because the money is always compounding when they borrow against it. It's a lot like a personal line of credit, really, when you break it down. So that's non-direct recognition. It is easier to understand, in my opinion, because I get the same dividend on the entire bucket of money. Non-direct recognition, the company does not recognize the fact that I take out a loan with respect to how they apply dividends. It's the same rate on everything, regardless if I take a loan out or not. Let's look at direct recognition. So we can use another major mutual company, one of my favorites, good old Guardian. So Guardian, their policies will always start out with a fixed loan rate and as a direct recognition policy. However, they do offer policyholders the option to change to a variable loan rate at year 10. Guess what happens if you change to a variable loan rate? The policy then becomes non-direct recognition. We'll pretend that we just keep it at a fixed rate forever in this example. So their fixed rate is 5%. However, if you pay the loan interest annually, the fixed rate actually comes out to 4.76%, which is nice. Their 2023 dividend rate is 5.75%. I forgot to mention something very important with the Mass Mutual product. The variable loan rate, it is going to adjust over time. It's variable. As of the date of shooting this video, the end of November, it is right around 5.5%. We do have content that goes through how variable that variable loan rate is. But over here with Guardian, what do we have? That 5.75% dividend and that 4.76% loan interest rate. Okay, so cash value of 100 grand, death benefit $1 million. If you don't touch it, so if you don't take out any loans, that dividend of 5.75% is applied to the full cash value. Okay. That's simple. Now let's say we take out a policy loan of $50,000. Like a non-direct recognition policy, when you take that loan, what happens to the death benefit? The same thing. It is reduced dollar for dollar. So my death benefit is now $950,000, and I've got access to my remaining equity, the other 50K. Here's the difference right here with direct recognition. When you take that policy loan, the non-borrowed cash value, which would be the remaining equity down here, receives the same dividend that I got pre-loan, 5.75%. Whatever the standard dividend rate is for that year, that's applied on the non-borrowed cash value. So that's the 575. The borrowed cash value still receives a dividend. However, it's different. And when I say it's different, right, this is the third version of Guardian's products in the past 10 years, meaning we've seen products with different loan rates. With this option, or with this current product, the dividend rate comes out to a rate of about 4.5% when you look at the actual dividend rate that's applied to the policy. So what happens here? What crosses through your mind first? Well, the money that I don't borrow gets a higher dividend rate than the money that I borrow. They're lowering the dividend rate on the borrowed funds. Yes, that is true. However, what helps offset that? You've got a fixed loan interest rate up here of 4.76%. So while you might receive a slightly lower crediting rate at the same time, you're going to pay a lesser loan interest rate. Where if interest rates and dividend rates continue to go up, With a non-direct recognition policy, what does that mean with respect to the variable loan interest rate? Well, that'll go up too. So I'll pay more loan interest, again, if interest rates are high, with a variable loan rate, whereas with a fixed loan rate, it's pretty simple because it's fixed. It's not going to change. However, when I borrow, the insurance company is going to protect themselves by applying a lower dividend rate, 4.5% in this example, to the outstanding loan piece. So the difference here, looking at it long term, if I just let it sit and grow, 10 years, I never borrowed, let's say it's worth the same $200,000. Again, I'm just using round numbers here. Compared to the scenario where I borrow and repay, now in the 10th year, because I received a lower dividend rate on the loan portion, when I borrow and repay, that might be worth $190 or $195. However, I also spent less in loan interest. So without getting far into the weeds, which we do have videos that you can check out up here that provide a thorough breakdown of this, without getting too deep into the weeds here, when we look at the numbers, it typically does not make that much of a difference. And usually what I see help an individual refine their decision-making process is often on the front end of things with respect to funding flexibility, usually with the PUA rider and how flexible that rider is. For example, if I can pick a company that lets me commit to a low premium and just add more PUAs at my discretion, that might be very attractive to someone, and they say, I'll still take direct recognition because I want the flexibility along with a quality life insurance company. When I say quality, I do prefer the 4 major mutuals because, again, proof of performance. So I hope this helps in terms of information. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. And as always, I hope this helps. Thanks so much. Hey guys, Steve here with IBC Global. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you're interested in a whole life insurance policy and you'd like to work with our company in setting it up, please visit our website, ibcglobalinc.com. We would love to work with you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And as always, I hope this helps.